Hi Libra, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Libra, we're going to see how you have changed. We're going to look at who you were then, who you are now, the lesson that you haven't fully learned, and the lesson that you have fully learned. I'm going to do that with a few different oracle decks and a tarot deck. I'm going to start with the Divine Animal Oracle, and then we're going to use the Goddess deck and the Doggy Tarot. So we'll start with the Divine Animal Oracle and see what they have to say about you, Libra. Generous to a fault, Libra. That's what I see here in the past as like you then, and I am not kidding. You literally pulled out from two different decks, from you then, two cards that talk about generosity. So one is just generosity, and then the other card is be generous of spirit. So, and the cards that come in with it, the tarot cards, are kind of heavy. Like you have the 10 of Wands, the 7 of Wands, and the Death card. See what I mean? This is like taking on more than your fair share of burden, and kind of almost taking on more than your fair share of a burden. And I just want to say, like, holding on to it. Why, I don't know. Well, I'm going to try to unwrap that here. Yeah, it's such an interesting energy. Be generous of spirit, generosity. Okay, I give of myself. I give of myself to the point that, well, okay, I want to look at this artwork. There's something about this, like this dog, this 10 of Wands, this little dog. He's carrying this pile of like posts or wands with him to this village. But I'm looking like nobody else is out in the village. Nobody else is doing anything. Nobody is doing anything here. In this fit, like they're all in their tents. It also has the feeling too of like somebody who maybe gets up really early in the morning and gets a lot of stuff done. And you get it, like all this wood is needed for the day for the fire, right? Because people need to cook and people need to cure meats and smoke stuff. I don't know, like, right? Whatever you would use this for. But it's almost like this feeling of okay, well, I'll get up early, I'll go get it. And, but I feel like it's not seen. Because what's playing out in my mind's eye is it's like you take all this wood down to the village and then you drop off, like a couple of logs at this tent and then a couple of logs at that tent while all these people are still sleeping. And then it's almost like they have no idea who brings the wood. They don't even think about it. It's just always there. It's like taken for granted. Like this generosity that you have or that you had or that you gave in the past. And not even a clue, like not even stopping to think, well, where did the wood come from? Who brings the wood every morning? No, nobody. Just, the wood. If the wood isn't there, I'll tell you, they're complaining. They'd be complaining. I know they would. I feel like it in this card. And so here's the funny thing. Okay, so the 7 of Wands now with all these dogs up here, this is like they could never figure out how to get the wood. They would argue about it. No, you're carrying more. I'm carrying more wood than you do. You didn't do any wood last week. I don't know. This is really some interesting energy. Like, I don't know what this part of your life was in the past, but you were definitely showing up as somebody who just gave and gave and gave and gave, and it supported. I mean, it feels like a village, right? It just feels like a village. So it could be your family, it could be where you worked, it could be your community. You could even, so let's say this, you could even just like maybe say, you go out to your garden every morning and you pick like a small bouquet of flowers and you leave a little inspiring note on each bouquet, like I don't know. I can't think of anything inspiring right now. Like, you're always great, or just something to uplift people, and leave it at all their doors. And do this consistently, without fault, every day for like a year or 2 years or something like that. And it's almost as if at first, oh, wow, this is great. Look at that. And then it's just people open up the door and they expect it. They expect it to be there. And if it's not, that becomes the problem. Like, I also feel like there's no return in this for you. But it feels more practical, because this Seven of Wands to me, now these are all like, I want to say these are the other dogs in the community. And if they got to try to get the wood, well, believe me, sir, they're just, well, I got more wood last week than you got. So I don't know why I have to still get wood this week, because I don't know what it is, but they're just like, yeah. So it literally has this feeling too, that you could do the work of multiple people. Like, you could get many things done that it would otherwise take many people to try to, they couldn't do it. Now, the interesting thing is, I feel like at some point you recognize this, or you realize there was a change needed with the Death card. This is not working. I need to elevate myself. I need to be reborn from this form of generosity. This is giving to a fault. Actually, I don't feel like it's your fault. It wasn't giving to your fault, though, because I think if the world was filled with more of that generosity that I'm seeing here on the table of you, then it would be such a better place. The problem comes when people don't recognize it and appreciate it, give you a pat on the back for it, leave like, something out for you. It's even reminding me someone of, like, let's say a garbage collector. I love those dudes and dudettes. I just think what they do is so important to the community, but most people overlook it and they don't even think about it. They take it for granted that the stuff they don't want anymore, the stuff that was stinking up my kitchen, you're going to take it away? All I have to do is take it to the curb? Like, that is amazing. It's just so amazing to me. But I mean, in my own neighborhood, I've seen them out there sometimes when they're covering other people's routes. And I can tell that that's happening in the summer, because their pickup times will be a little bit different. And it's somebody covering a route that isn't familiar with the route, and they're kind of doing it their own way. And I've seen them out there sometimes, like on the main street. It's like 7 o'clock at night. They're still out there trying to get it all finished. And sometimes I've seen them trying to, like, oh shit, and trying to do like a 3-point turn with this garbage truck, realizing they got to go back down there. Come on, it's 7 o'clock at night. These guys and gals probably started at 5 or 6 a.m., right? And people honking their freaking horns in their Mercedes Benz. Like, you're in my way. I'm trying to get to what. And I'm just thinking, that is so fucking ignorant. Like, give these guys a break. Let them do their 3-point turn and picking up your fucking trash. Like, right? I don't know, I always feel like saying that for you, because that's what is here. Like, this is somebody who takes on a burden for the community. Everybody's still asleep. They don't even know it's being done. They have no idea half the shit that's being done for them. What it is. It just get me all riled up. Oh, Libras, get me all riled up for you. It's just like, oh, yeah. And now, but then it's almost like you kind of, I want to say there's a sense of beginner mind in the then. Because it's almost like this puppy form, like this newborn puppy in you. So maybe trying to find, it's sad, isn't it? It is sad to see this energy then. And then how it was sort of, I don't know. Frick me. Okay, let's go to you now. So watch and wait, flow. Okay. Actually, I've just seen this now, because the seahorse who's watching and waiting is looking over at the then. Oh yeah, I see it now. It's weird, like the flow, just seeing how, just see how it all flows, just see it all flows down, how it all flows down, how it all flows downhill, how it all flows downhill. Shit flows downhill. Yes, interesting. That's even reminding me of a boss that I had. It was my he was actually my last official boss. He was pretty damn good too. I really appreciate him. I actually, see, here's the thing too. I didn't appreciate him till he went on vacation. Oh my God. I was getting like constant messages from the regional manager who worked out of our office, who kind of like took over what he was doing while my boss was gone for a couple of weeks. And I was like, shit. And I was talking back and forth with my friend who worked with me too in the same department. I'm like, are you getting this too? And she said, yeah, we can see how much he filtered for us. Like, it was like, yeah, when he comes back, I'm going to get him a bottle of wine. Like, yeah, it was just incredible. Just crazy, right? Like, there's something about that then. It's just so interesting. I don't know if you're somebody who would naturally show up early for work to get a lot of little things done, and it made everybody's day easier. I don't know what it is. But now, right, like it's funny, it's almost like the seahorse is looking at that as it's sitting on the table and it's watching wait. It's almost like, and the flow. I'm just seeing like shit naturally flows downhill. So, there's something about that. I don't know if this is a leadership role even in the then, because like I'm seeing, and I'm blessing my previous boss, he died. It was sad. He passed away of colon cancer. He was only in his mid-40s. It was really sad. Maybe he took on too much stress. Maybe. Anyways, so that like, yeah, because I'm seeing that, like, I always thought he was good, actually, as a boss. I really appreciated him. There were times where I thought he could have had a little more backbone, but now that I look back on it, I think he probably took on, like, a lot of stuff, and recognized that there were certain things that were just not worth fighting, certain things not worth fighting, but that's coming in here, Libra. Like, watch and wait. Why are you looking at that? So okay, so now this is making, because the next thing is the Five of Wands. Now it's like they're all racing to the finish. I don't know what this is. This is something here, like, if they had to do it, they're just making a mess of it. One of you, Libra, is the equivalent of 5. Oh, there's 4 and then there's 5. 4 or 5 of these others. And they just make a mess of it. So the watch and wait is almost, well, now it's like, I don't know if you've left a situation and you're waiting to see how it unfolds naturally with flow, right? Waiting to see how it unfolds naturally with flow. And this Five of Wands, I'll tell you, there's a lot of conflict there. There's like conflict, competition. Jesus, it's crazy. So then the moon, well, this is the moon and the sea alpha male. You honestly can't help but feel like, because the sea alpha male, right, like alpha, there's a sense of that energy over here. Even if even if you're not somebody who is or was in some sort of position of authority or responsibility, I hesitate to say responsibility because I'm saying it like you didn't have it, but you did. So like, even if you're somebody's secretary or was, or it's like you took on a lot, like you just kept the ship running. But funny, with the moon, it's a little bit like, I feel like you're like not, like nobody has any idea where you are. Right? Like it's an unknown. But that, yet I almost feel like I see you sitting here at the beach. So, I don't know. So now, yeah, it's like now, almost like you're feeding yourself. Like all the generosity that you've given to others with this 10 of fire in the past, you're now giving it to yourself. But almost too, like you're distant from whatever that was, and there's something unknown about you. But maybe you're howling at the moon, because this dog is full on howling at the moon. Might be doing some sort of a spiritual practice for yourself at this time. This dog, his little feet are, it's almost like praying or just like mindfulness at the beach. And even enjoying the natural flow of life, right? Okay. Well, so this is interesting. Okay, now I wasn't sure about your lessons not fully learned and fully learned, but now it's making a little more, okay, yes, this makes sense. This makes total sense. The lesson you've fully learned: set healthy boundaries and reverence. I want to say this is like respecting yourself here. Like respecting yourself and setting some boundaries, because that I would describe, like setting a boundary here is something that you were incredibly generous of yourself in the past, and now, but I feel like generous to others in some way, but now it's like you're finding that generosity and applying it to yourself in some way here. And the magi, the magician, comes with it. So that's, right, it's taking things from above and making it so below. Self-respect is an important aspect here in one's creation process. Recognizing that is the first step that you needed to do for something for yourself. So set a boundary, and maybe that's even, even if I'm not looking at the artwork, I could see that, like the 10 of Wands, the 7 of Wands, the Death card. Oh my gosh, you've taken on so much. Here's my boundary. I'm out of here with a Death card, and I'm going to go and have a rebirth for myself. Right? So you understand that. You totally get that. But the lesson not fully learned is interesting. Freedom is yours, and compassion with the Ace of Wands. I'm not sure how maybe showing yourself compassion. Oh. Maybe you have hard feelings about something here. Why couldn't it be totally possible with what I'm reading with you here in the then? Maybe there's a sense of not feeling totally detached from it, maybe, because freedom is yours. You don't fully either feel it or haven't learned it. Haven't learned it. I want to say it's almost like feeling it, because whatever this is, like, watch and wait. Why are you still looking at it? And compassion. Maybe it's recognized. No, this is a hard step. This is a hard leap. So maybe you're deeply spiritual here, because I want to say every time we talk about things like forgiveness and compassion, those are big leaps to take, particularly if something or someone or some environment has like taken advantage of you in the past. And then when you get to those points of being able to look back at that and maybe that's a mess. I don't know what it is, but it just looks like, yeah, I'm watching and I'm waiting to watch this unfold. And it is a bit of a mess with the 5 of Wands. So, but then it's finding compassion and realizing that you are free from that, but I feel bad for them. I feel bad for you. But not in not in a cynical way, because that's not really compassion. Oh, it's so interesting. Inspired, maybe kind of realizing, feeling bad. Oh my God. Just realized this. Oh, I don't think he's watching. My best friend, her husband's a Libra. And him and I've been doing, how long? Okay. Yes, this is totally him. Oh my gosh. Could be. Maybe he's watching. If he is, it's your reading buddy. Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what I should say or shouldn't say here, but anyways. So it's finding inspiration too. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I can see how the compassion is coming in here as fully learned. Not fully learned that freedom is yours. How to direct your compassion too. All right. So, no, I don't know. I can't say. Anyways, yeah, I totally see that. He's a very giving person. And an environment that both him and I have been kind of sort of volunteering in. I call it volunteering. Don't really pay that supports anything. And right, he's always really given a lot of himself there. Really. And yeah, not supported. Yeah. Oh my, it's interesting. I don't think he watches. I mean, he could, but so I kind of feel like, wow, just because I just read something from like someone who was a Libra to me, and now that I stop and I look at this and go, shit, this is his story to a T. So I really feel like that you guys have there's something's going on here. It must be something very symbolic to kind of like the journey of Libra, and maybe anyone who has any significant placements in the 7th house as well. But this is, yeah, wow. Yeah. And it's funny too, because both him and I would go in the same space, and he is always so kind. So kind. And let's all talk it through and let's figure this out. I'm like, you need to go sit at the corner. Sit there and count to 60 10 times. Because I'm the Aries. I just be like, ugh. And he's always so kind to a fault. But then he recognized this. And he's like, you know what? I need to step up for myself here. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Because I see that, right? Be generous of spirit. Generosity in the past. The 9 of Swords. The 9 of Swords. The Queen of Cups. Oh, the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Swords. The 4 of Wands. This is like, okay, something I want to say too, something that would, like, you would spend a lot of time thinking about this. So whatever, like, the generosity is, and then, like, carrying the weight for the community, for the group, for the town, whatever it is. And then, like, I'm going to inject love. I'm going to inject love into this. And how Venus-y of you, Libra, like to inject love. Wow, that didn't work. The 8 of Cups, the 8 of Swords. Like, there is no love here. I'm going to go find, like, something to celebrate. Something else that is fun in life. I'm just going to leave that alone. Wait. Well, let's look at the Death card. The Death card. The Death card. All right, then. That's over. Man, I don't think he'll be going back either. So sad. He's an enormous resource. You can't pay for that. You can't pay enough for that resource. And we're getting it for practically free. Anyways. Sad. Okay. Watch and wait. The flow. I don't know. Maybe he wants to go. I know why he would. But not for the shitstorm. Watch and wait. The Fool and the Star. Well, there's the new beginning. The new beginning from above. I like it. Because you were kind of using energy, like what you learned. You know what? You need to set a healthy boundary here. You need to have self-respect. And that is the first step in bringing, like, divinity down to earth. Yes. Yes. Because, you know, that's the trick too, is when we give of ourselves and we do it in a way that is from our hearts, which I'm seeing over here of you, Libra, from your heart, giving this, and people not even realizing, like, that's exactly what it is. They don't even realize what they had until it's gone. It's not to stop injecting that. And if it's not in the same environment that at some point recognizes what the value was of having you there, it's finding the environments that do, because this injection is important, right? It's almost like looking for that. Well, where do I inject it now? Where's my next injection? My new injection of this, like, bringing good down to earth. So the 5 of Wands, it's going to the beach. They've been going to the beach too. The 5 of Wands. This card is stuck in my fingers. Oh So now, okay, there's something about, I want to say that it almost feels like to me too, like the unknown of this conflict, that there could even be people from whatever this past is that don't even have any idea why, what conflict? The Chariot, the Sun, the Nine of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Two of Swords. Oy, 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 oy. Yeah, it's wow, it is something just turned around here and got turned into a mess because it's going towards greatness, right? Like this is like fulfilling that star energy, like fulfilling it and seeing it here. Boy, that is a long, hard. You okay, Liddy? Yeah, she's going into her cool place. She lays down on the ceramic floor in the bathroom. It's a long, hard road, and where you'll end up, nobody knows. Like, right? Okay, so that kind of takes me into the Moon. But which we see, I think it is just the unknown and fears. But you know what? It's just to become, maybe it's almost like this is time for you. Like this is just time for you, Libra. Like to really connect with your deeper emotions and like find the purity in your own feelings again, because this injection of love in the past here, it was met with the Eight of Cups and Eight of Swords. Nobody saw it. You had to just stop doing it and go find your own celebration here. See how from now, the King of Cups. The Two of Wands. Yeah, you see, that's the way to find whatever it is that you're looking for, like something new. I feel like you all have come out of something here that literally just not appreciated. The way I've described that in the whole scenario over there, just not appreciated, but you do have a lot to give, a ton to give. The first step in giving and making a difference, let's say, if that's what it is that you want to do in your life, in whatever capacity and however big or small that is, was, and you learned that lesson, was set healthy boundaries, self-respect. That's the first step in manifesting something different here for yourself. Yeah. Okay. So you set the healthy boundaries. You learned this. You've got to be watching. The Ten of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. Play childish games, get childish rewards. That's what that sounds like, right? You play childish games, you get childish rewards. So we're not playing childish games. I want to also say too, with the Ten of Swords going into the Page of Pentacles, this is like an ending and like, oh, I'm starting from the beginning here. I'm going to learn step by step. Reverence. The Five of Cups. Yeah, you know what? This is like, how long are you going to sit in some sort of energy that is disappointing? You need some self-respect here. That's what you recognized. I love this. The Magician. These cards are acting so odd. So the Ten of Cups and the Nine of Cups, they're acting really funny. Almost like I have a new guide who's just learning how to flick out cards here. That's funny. The Nine of Cups. Okay. So this is interesting, right? Because we're going from the 10 to the 9. There's definitely something here about really understanding what you wish for before you start trying to create, fulfill wishes and dreams with others. Like, what do you wish for? Right? And here we go with the King of Cups, with the Two of Wands. You find that and you ground that in yourself. And then that becomes what you project forward. Not fulfilling other people's wishes before your own. And I mean, there's times where you can't always do that, right? Like every part of life is a give and a take. But yeah, that was like over generous. Really, for generous. Freedom is yours. Compassion, it's like free from that. I can feel sorry for them. The King of Swords. So this is the part not fully learned here. But it's funny because what you are now is you are becoming this King of Water. So you're connecting with the emotional parts of you that have maybe been drowned out from something in the past. But right now, it's almost like a clarity of the mind. Like, because I feel like the heart and the mind, right, through the vagus nerve are always communicating to each other. So if the heart is feeling really kind of like down about, you know, how it was given and then how it was poorly received, I want to say that that message goes to the mind, and then the mind takes a while to see it clearly, to see things clearly. Yeah, it's kind of a curious combination, because compassion, I feel like too, is something that we exercise. I want to say over here, this could have been compassionate work, like doing things for other people, doing something for someone else or a group. And then realizing the truth is that you are free to show compassion wherever you want, however you want, not being tied into things that aren't, you know, for your higher good as well. The Ace of Fire. The Five of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. It's cutting out. You haven't fully learned. It's cutting out some sort of, it's going from like being passionate and driven to perhaps like looking at something and finding a more realistic, like tangible result. There's two aces. It's cutting something out and realizing what you hold in your hands. Oh gosh, overcome any obstacle. The potential. Oh, I love this. The potential to overcome any obstacle is your underlying. Is that going in the right spot? Yeah. What an interesting read, Libra. The Three of Swords at the bottom. Yeah, definitely. Definitely heartbreak. Because when we give of ourselves in this way and it is so poorly received, yeah, that's hard. But it's definitely to realize it's not what you give, it's the other side, that's how that was received. And I'm going to go do the extended. In the extended, I'm going to look at you in transformation and then future you. So, right, that's what we're going to do. Thank you so much, Libra. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.